Today's episode is brought to you by Kobi Simmat.
SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. After 16 years in business, Kobi Simmat sold his accreditation consultancy for $20 million. Had he known from the get-go what he knows now, he says it would have taken half the time and half the effort. He can't turn back time, but he can let others get a head start, which he does in his book, How to Build a Business Others Want to Buy. It all begins, he explains to Chris Ashmore, with the end in mind.
If you're starting a business with the intention of having a lifestyle, if you're starting the business with the intention of having maybe some freedom from the grapples of a full-time job where you've got to do 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, but you kind of want to run personal errands or pick the kids up from school or, spend more time with someone you're looking after health-wise, an older person, starting with the end in mind is super important and being conscious of that. And of course, businesses, when you build them, if they end up with regular customers and fairly predictable revenue, they become something that's worth money. And so I think if you start a business, you should definitely be including in with the end in mind that a business could be sold for a piece of value at the end. And, just like a house, you spend a lot of time and there's a lot of unrewarded hours that get put into running businesses. And those unrewarded hours can be rewarded at the end if you kind of put the Lego together in the way the instructions talk about, if you like. So yeah, I think the end in mind is really important.
Should you be specific with how much you want to sell it for, or is that being too specific?
Ian Thorpe is a really interesting person as a high-performance athlete. He wrote his world record target time, the time he wanted to set on Post-it notes. It was the code on his lock screen of his phone. It was his phone number. And I think that when he set the world record for the 200-meter freestyle, he looked up at the clock and it was exactly the time that he had told himself. So there's nothing wrong with saying a number and manifesting that number, but I think with some research, like an arbitrary number like $1 billion is not going to work for somebody who's got a hairdressing salon in downtown suburbs. But I think that with a bit of research at the beginning and saying maybe you heard of someone sell a business and it went for a particular price, at the end of the day, it will come down to a market and what buyers are in the market at the time. And maybe it's a timing thing that you wait for a particular buyer to be ready, like a management buyout, for example. So I think that those kinds of things that, yes, exactly a price can be determined with a little bit of research. And that will get you the reward for, some of those late nights and early mornings and hustle.
When it comes to doing all this, having a goal then is important.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think that it's too easy to kind of get through the weekend, wake up Monday morning and get the kids to school or get out of the house or get to see the client or react to something that's going wrong or do whatever in a kind of a day-to-day basis. And life can get away from us really quickly. Like the weeks for me right now are just flying by. So I think that if you set a goal, and there's obviously that bigger picture goal, and then there's the daily goals, and I'm a list person, but I think that bigger picture goal of saying, yes, I want to build a business, I want to exit that business in, 5 years' time, or I'm going to invest in something else and then have a lifestyle. I think having that destination is going to affect where you're going to go on your journey. And I think that when you go on holidays, you set a destination, you work out how you're going to get there and what you're going to do when you're there and how you're going to get home. And, I think setting and running a business is no different. Now, the goal could be, I'm going to run this thing in perpetuity and then it's going to close when I die because it gives me a really healthy income, and a business is an investment. And in fact, a business that's running really well and is really healthy and is owner independent is a good investment. And it's often very difficult to find other things to invest in after you sell your business that give you a better income. And so I think that often setting goals is really important, but also getting very clear on the problem that you're solving. What am I solving here? Am I solving, I hate my business and I want to get out of it, so I want to sell it? Or do I want to move on to something else and invest in something else? I want to take money off the table and kind of set that money in concrete and then move on to the next thing.
Kobi Simmat. Same local team, new global reach. A new 2-firm network still offering international audit, tax and advisory services, committed to helping our clients confidently build and grow their businesses. Move forward with Kobi Simmat. Visit forvismazars.com/au. That's FORVISMAZARS.com/au.
Is it important to have a business coach?
100%. Absolutely. Every single high performance person on the planet has got a team around them giving them advice from the sidelines, whether that's a high performance football team, soccer team, netball team. We've got the Matildas, the women's football league playing right now as we record this. They've all got coaches. They've got nutritionists. They've got physios. They've got psychologists. They've got people looking after their uniforms. And I think that if you are somebody who's listening to this and you want to be successful in business and you want to accelerate your journey, then the investment you can make into having somebody coach you from the sidelines, I think is really important. I have invested significant amounts of money over the years in coaching, psychological coaching to get my mindset right, business coaching on a fortnightly basis. Now, it's not that the first business coach that walks in the door is going to be the best person for you. Definitely interview them like you would any team member and spend the time doing your due diligence and get referrals. And if you don't like someone, fail fast, move on to the next one. And then also think about the problem you're trying to solve. My business isn't profitable enough. I need a coach to help me coach to make it more profitable. My business needs more sales. I need a coach to coach me to get more sales and more revenue. So there are different coaches that are good at different things. And many, many, many coaches out there will come from a kind of franchise system that may have lots of policies and procedure manuals. They haven't got the free flow, shoot from the hip ability to help you make a business profitable really quickly, for example, if you're struggling with numbers. So I think it's horses for courses, but 100% rock stars, athletes, high performance individuals, university students got lecturers, school children got teachers. Why is it in business that we sit there and we think, well, I can figure this out by myself and sit lonely at the top without someone to divulge everything to and kind of look at it they can look at it from the side and they can say, hey, if we just tweak your technique just a little bit, we're going to get a better result. So absolutely.
Now, from one big question to another one, how do you differentiate yourself in the market?
Look, I think that we throw that statement out. You need to differentiate yourself. I think we throw that statement out probably a little bit frivolously. Forget about differentiating yourself in the market for a minute. I think focus specifically on the people you seek to serve. So your customer or the type of person that's going to exchange their hard-earned money for your product or service, or their business's hard-earned money for your product or service. So whether it's business to consumer or business to business, and just focus on the benefit, the amazing benefit that that customer is looking to get from your product or service. The best way you can differentiate yourself is to be completely focused on, I am somebody who is looking for a variety in meals that I can cook for my family each night. I want to have fresh fruit and vegetables. I want to have good quality proteins. And so you can be a supermarket that's got all of those things, whether it's the local IGA or the big multinational supermarket. If you just focus on making sure you got super fresh fruit and vegetables with a good range, so that when somebody who's looking to get dinner for their family in the local supermarket can go in and get the fruit and vegetables and the protein, they're freshly packed, they look good, they're easy to pick up and carry home and cook dinner. It's not that, don't focus on the features. We've got this full range of protein and this full range of fruit and vegetables. Just focus on what incredible benefit can we give to our customer, follow through and give them that benefit and make sure that they get it and follow up to ensure that they get it in exchange for the money. It's fair exchange. You will differentiate yourself over everybody else. Everyone is just thinking about their money and their situation and their problem. And by being customer centric and customer focused and purely focused on quality, then you will differentiate yourself. And you don't need to have a different feature, a different benefit, or be blue or black or yellow or whatever the different color brand or logo is. If you just focus on ensuring you deliver the benefit that the customer's looking for that comes from your features, don't focus on your features, then you will stand out like a full moon on a bright starry night. And I think that that's what we need to focus on more in business, is just be customer centric.
Mm-hmm. Well, if we can come full circle here, and indeed we're looking at the end in mind when we're running a business, what are prospective buyers looking for when they're looking to buy your business or any business?
At the end of the day, a future buyer of your business is looking for one thing and one thing only, and that is profit. They're looking for a financial return on the money that they pay you for your business. Now, that can come from a few different things. It can come from putting your business with another business, and it means they can sell a hybrid different product to their customers. They can sell their product to your customers. They can buy your business and it's got good annual profits, and they can just take $1 million and give it to you, and now they get $100,000 a year in exchange for that. But future buyers of businesses are just looking for profit. And so the more confident you can be in A, showing them facts and figures from a number of years so that it's not lumpy and bumpy and jumping around a lot, but they can get confidence from a very smooth graph of, 10, 15, 20% growth per annum, not thousands of percent, not 100%, but just solid, sustainable, predictable growth of profit. Then they know that it's almost as safe as putting their money in the bank and getting a reasonable return for their money. And so if you've got to make up a narrative and a story and say, I've got this great idea and this great idea could do this, this and this, go do that and give them the results, give them the benefits of that. But I speak to so many people who say, my business has got this great idea and it's got so much opportunity. It's like, well, execute on the opportunity and then a buyer will buy it. But if you've got to sell them on the idea, then you're not going to get the best deal possible.
That was Kobi Simmat, founder of mynextpractice.com. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow @BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Forvis Mazars. To find out more, visit forvismazars.com/au. That's FORVISMAZARS.com/au.